Alright, here's an updated video talking about the train derailment that happened in 1968. 26 train cars derailed, and a woman actually died at the scene of the accident. So it happened late at night, maybe around 12:30 in the morning. And these are some pictures of the disaster. Now this would be west, headed towards Danville, Illinois, right in front of the bowling alley outside of Covington. So this accident happened in 1968. You can see some train cars say Pennsylvania Railroad, but in 1968 it was under the control of the Penn Central. The New York Central and Pennsylvania had already merged before this accident happened. So this is the bowling alley right outside of Covington, and you can see here's a grain car. It looks like a green colored grain car in the road, and this must be where the lady had ran into the train car and died. She came from Petersburg headed towards Covington late at night. There were no lights around this area, so she probably had 1 to 2 seconds to slam on her brakes before impact. Now right behind where this lady is standing is a small creek or stream or waterway. This is actually a small trestle or a bridge. And the way it looks, these train cars started derailing right as they came over this trestle or bridge. This train was headed westbound towards Peoria when it derailed. And as you can see in this picture, 136 looks like it is covered in solid dirt. In fact, it's even hard to tell that this is a state road. Now, I was not able to find on the internet or online how this accident actually happened. But I could just imagine the length of time it would take to clean up 26 derailed train cars and then install new ties and realign the rail. This small segment could have been shut down for up to 10 days. I did find some more interesting pictures about the old nickel plate over in Petersburg. This was 1985, so this was Norfolk Southern property, because in 1982 Norfolk and Western officially became Norfolk Southern. But as you can see, this is 1985. The tracks look like they're in great condition. This was in Petersburg, the New York Central. And just to take a wild guess, I'd probably say this was the 1940s, maybe the 1950s. It looks like it's closed down. It looks like the concrete is corroded. It looks like this is no longer in service. Now this is an interesting picture. This is right outside of Wingate, Indiana, and this is the old Nickel Plate Road or Norfolk Southern back in 1985, 86, or 87. As you can see, this is a long grain train. And this is a picture that they claim is the last train to ever go down the old Norfolk and Western or Nickel Plate Road. And this was 1987. This is right outside of Wingate. Now I want you to remember this road. See right here, this is a track, and you can see the road is slowly getting farther and farther away from the tracks. Now, I believe that this picture was actually taken right here on this property. This is Wingate. This is the old Nickel Plate Road headed towards Malott in Petersburg. You can see the track is curving down, headed towards Malott, and the road is slowly getting farther away. I believe that is the property that this was actually taken at. I assume that there was probably a handful of people around these small communities that were probably upset when they witnessed the rails and tracks being torn up in 1988. From these aerial photographs, you can barely even see where the roadbed used to exist. What I find interesting about this picture, it looks like the tracks are in good condition. This is 1987. So that means these tracks sat there for a year without any traffic moving east to west. It is upsetting to see these old remnants and abandoned lines But if you worked in the corporate office in these railroads, you would want the most lean and profitable railroad. And unfortunately, that means cutting out as many segments as you possibly can. This is October of 1968. You can see the leaves are changing colors. And this kid looks to be maybe 5 or 6 years old. This girl right here looks maybe, I don't know, 7 or 8 years old. I wish I knew who these people were. These people would be around 58 years old right now. If you have any interesting knowledge about these old lines, go ahead and leave a comment under the video.